The Long Island serial killer, a chilling mystery still unsolved. The golden sands of Gilgo Beach stretch along Long Island's southern coast, a picturesque retreat from the cacophony of New York City. By day, it is a tranquil haven where beachgoers lounge under umbrellas and waves crash rhythmically against the shore. But beneath its surface, this idyllic setting hides a darker reality, a mystery so macabre it continues to grip the nation. This is the tale of the Long Island serial killer, LISK, an elusive predator believed to have taken the lives of at least 10 individuals, their bodies discovered scattered along a desolate stretch of marshland near Ocean Parkway. Despite years of investigation, the case remains unsolved, raising questions about justice, human nature, and the fragility of life. A grim discovery. The story begins on May 1, 2010, when 24-year-old Shannon Gilbert, a sex worker from New Jersey, disappeared after fleeing a client's house in Oak Beach, a small community near Gilgo Beach. In the early hours of that day, Gilbert made a frantic 911 call, her voice trembling with fear. "They're trying to kill me," she reportedly told the dispatcher. She ran into the night, never to be seen alive again. Her disappearance triggered a search effort that, by December of the same year, uncovered a series of grisly discoveries. During a routine training exercise, a police officer with a cadaver dog stumbled upon a set of human remains wrapped in burlap along the roadside. Over the next several months, authorities would find 3 more bodies in the vicinity, all identified as women who worked as escorts and advertised their services on Craigslist. These discoveries marked the beginning of a larger nightmare. A grim pattern emerges. By spring of 2011, the body count had grown. In total, 10 sets of remains were found between Gilgo Beach and the neighboring areas of Oak Beach and Jones Beach. The victims varied in age, gender, and background. They included Maureen Brainerd Barnes, Melissa Barthélemy, Megan Waterman, and Amberlynn Costello, all young women in their 20s, working as escorts to make ends meet. But the discoveries didn't stop with adult women. Among the victims were a toddler and an unidentified Asian male dressed in women's clothing, suggesting the killer's victims were not bound by a singular demographic. This diversity baffled investigators, challenging traditional profiling techniques. Even more chilling was the methodology. Several victims were found wrapped in burlap, hinting at a meticulous and ritualistic approach. Authorities believed the killer had a keen understanding of the geography, suggesting they might be a local resident or someone intimately familiar with the area. Who is the Long Island serial killer? The LISK case has spawned a whirlwind of speculation and theories, with the public and investigators alike attempting to piece together the identity of this shadowy figure. Despite the growing list of victims, little concrete evidence has surfaced, leaving the killer's identity shrouded in mystery. Some theories suggest the killer could be a law enforcement officer or someone with law enforcement training. The precise disposal of the bodies and the ability to elude detection for years hint at someone who knows how to navigate investigations. Others believe the killer could be a regular resident of Long Island, someone leading a seemingly ordinary life while harboring a sinister secret. In 2016, suspicion fell on a former Suffolk County Police Chief, James Burke. Known for his corruption and misconduct, including the assault of a man who stole items from his police-issued SUV, Burke's tenure coincided with significant missteps in the investigation. However, no direct evidence linked him to the murders. Theories have also tied the LISK to other unsolved murders along the East Coast, sparking debates about whether the killer is a single individual or multiple predators operating independently. Obstacles to justice. The LISK investigation has been hampered by several challenges, many of them systemic. Early on, jurisdictional disputes between Suffolk County and Nassau County police departments created silos of information, delaying progress. Compounding this was the reluctance of law enforcement to allocate significant resources to a case involving marginalized victims, many of whom were sex workers. Technological limitations at the time also played a role. The killer is believed to have used disposable burner phones to contact his victims, a tactic that made tracing communications nearly impossible. Moreover, the marshy, isolated terrain of the area made it difficult to locate evidence and examine the crime scenes thoroughly. Public interest has occasionally waned, only reignited by the release of books, documentaries, and podcasts that shine a spotlight on the case. Yet, even as public pressure builds, breakthroughs have remained elusive. Shannon Gilbert, catalyst or victim? The case took another twist in December 2011, when Shannon Gilbert's remains were finally discovered in a marsh near Oak Beach. Unlike the other victims, Gilbert's death was ruled accidental by authorities, who suggested she drowned in the swamp after running in a state of panic. Her family, however, vehemently disagreed, believing she was another victim of the Lisk. The circumstances of Gilbert's death remain contentious, with her being both a potential outlier and a catalyst for uncovering the serial killer's grisly deeds. Her mother, Mari Gilbert, became a tireless advocate for justice, pushing for independent investigations and keeping the story alive in the media until her tragic death in 2016. The human toll beyond the headlines and theories, the Lisk case is ultimately a story of loss. Each victim was a person with hopes, struggles, and loved ones left grappling with the void they left behind. The families of the victims have been vocal in their quest for answers, their pain amplified by years of silence and uncertainty. Maureen Brainerd Barnes, the first identified victim, was described as a devoted mother who turned to escort work during financial hardships. Megan Waterman was a loving mother whose disappearance devastated her family. Amber Lynn Costello was a bright and spirited woman whose struggles with addiction led her to a dangerous lifestyle. These stories, and many others, are a sobering reminder of the humanity behind the statistics. Renewed hope in modern technology. Recent advances in forensic technology have given investigators new tools to tackle the case. In 2020, Suffolk County authorities released an image of a belt found at one of the crime scenes, bearing the initials WHO. Though it remains unclear if this evidence will lead to a breakthrough, it symbolizes a renewed commitment to solving the case. DNA technology, including familial DNA searches, has also brought hope. With the success of cold case resolutions like the Golden State Killer, families of the Lisk victims are cautiously optimistic that their loved ones' cases might someday be solved. Why it matters. The Long Island serial killer case transcends its local roots, raising broader questions about society's treatment of marginalized communities. Many of the victims were sex workers, a fact that may have contributed to the initial lack of urgency in the investigation. This oversight reflects a troubling pattern in law enforcement's approach to crimes involving vulnerable populations. Moreover, the case highlights the challenges of interagency cooperation, the evolution of forensic science, and the enduring human desire for justice in the face of unspeakable evil.